Yours? These beats are the purest. Hello everybody and welcome into the Gopherwatch League Season 5.5 Week 1 matchup today. We got a quite exciting one here between the Arizona OTs and the Chicago Cats. I'll be playing with Caster BOON1E. Alongside me today is going to be my good buddy War. And War, we've got ourselves a pretty exciting match here. The power rankings, might not make it seem that way, but I think both these teams are severely underrated heading into this game here.
I mean, they even said it in the power rankings that the last three teams, 9th being the Arizona OTs and 10th being the Chicago Cats on the power rankings, were very underrated, and we could see them actually popping off in these matches. And because they're in the same division, the Maroon division in this case, they are going to have some very steep competition within that division as well. I believe that both of us are in that division, so it's interesting to see how they are going to be able to perform as a team. This could be a, I think, very crucial match in deciding which team has like an amazing start to the season and tries to secure their spot in playoffs.
Yeah, I think the main thing that people were pointing out here is the Chicago Cats being the most underrated team, I think, in our power ranking. So it should be interesting to see how we go in here. They have a lot of high talent players here, etc. And Ox, that Connect, Papa Triste, a lot of that Team 4 synergy from all those years ago if you were a true boomer like me. Look at the OTs, they got that star power in Rusty Goomba and Roar. Coach Roar coming in here on a DPS role. Bit of an off-roll for him, but very solid in that anyway. Flambo Jambo, hopefully the frames and the ping stays low for him, and we can actually get to see some Season 4 MVP Flambo Jambo type gameplay up here. But yes, we are hitting in our first map. It is going to be Lijiang Tower, so we should be looking forward to a good one here. Control Center, of course, known for that brawl, but all the other points. The thing with Lijiang Tower is every single point seems to have its own meta, and that makes it pretty exciting for me, actually.
My favorite things about the meta, at least on Lijiang, is that Lucio is viable in the meta on every single one of them, in my opinion. So I always like to run Lucio. I actually just got out of a comp match at Lijiang, and it was pretty epic. But we're going to get to see what these teams are running here, and it looks like there is going to be one Lucio, but it seems like the Cats are going to go with a Mercy on a support line.
Mercy on a support line, pretty interesting, but we'll see if it's going to work because they do have that Wrecking Ball, so pretty self-sustained tank in its own right, so you can pocket that far perhaps, and okay, they're going through with the break. Wow. Oh, they're just swapping, I guess. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to call it more comps until we actually them roll out here, but the pretty standard comp from the side of the OTs. They do have, you know, that dive with Roar on the Tracer. We'll see how we go out here. Paige going to be on that far, standing out here. We're going to move in here on a Lijiang Tower guard, or Lijiang Tower. I forget this one actually she's called, but I think it's Gardens. But
Gardens, I believe.
Yes, you're correct. But we do have Defender rolling in through the enemy team right now, trying to get a little bit of poke damage in here, stop the rotation from occurring. I mean, Cat's going pretty quickly towards this minefield here and gets out basically unpunished.
Yeah, the real thing is going to be
here, but as we start to move out, I think we are going to see etc. on the bridge set. Just put in level. Here comes Flambo Jambo jumping in on the point, trying to take some space for the team here. It is basically a 3v3 on the point right now with everybody else spamming and poking around. And nothing really exactly happening as of yet. No ult is truly getting close except for maybe Etc's tactical visor. 50% there and counting. But Roar flying extremely forced to recall. Does get hit with those Helix Rockets as well. Rusty Goomba trying to eat as much as he can. But a huge 18-8 lands in on the Diva mech here from Transpot. Cat's flying extremely low as well with another 18-8. Page will finally go down. Losing that Burst Clock and Triste nowhere to be seen. Here comes the tactical visor upgrade. Star's fight is still going on, not done just yet. But I do think we are going to probably have the advantage coming in from the side of the Cats. If they get our picker, oh, etc. The nice Helix Rocket kill on a Roar. Don't know if that is exactly intentional, but the Nano Boost is invested on the Lumpy Shield. And this fight's still going on here. Etc. 20 HP flying very weak. Here comes Rusty Goomba back in that mech. And they are going to hold with this visor. I think it's probably pretty safe to say this fight's finally cleaned up in favor of the OTs.
Yeah, looks like the OTs are just going to get the final picks there onto Cathec, onto Papa Triste, and the Cats sort of have to reset, regroup. Utilizing the ball character, I think that's a little bit interesting because you have a characters like Winston and Diva who sort of dive together. If you have a ball, the ball can dive with you, or they can be used like Cathec used it before to sort of wrap around, to sort of jump the little gap in between the map. Going for these crazy flanks like he's going into right now, you actually utilizing the minefield to sort of cut off the support line. That's going to be very huge, just making sure that the team can't really reset out onto each other, but be used by Riddle Dog right here as the fight's finally breaking out.
Yeah, with the beat coming in here, Page close to that barrage, has an Nano Boost as well. 2 picks coming in here in favor of the Cats. And here we go, more kills coming through the barrage, not even needed from Page. And they're going to clean this up. Strudel is just being staggered out, sadly, in the white room. Can't have any support from the friends. No power friendship and anime coming in there, but 60% is the flip there. You're basically 2 fights away from this win here for the OT, but look at the ult fail up here for the Cats.
Yeah, the ults built up for the Cats is the thing I like the most here. They utilize the minefield, they utilize the nano boost, and it looks like the bomb's gonna come out for Roar right here. Actually, finding the Far Mercy duo, that's gonna be an absolutely crazy pick, and they're gonna look to go in off that.
I mean, that's all you need from that bomb right there. Creates that space and lets it get in, gets that DPS duo out of the way, or that very dangerous duo. Transplant Casmo Sync had to use on Rusty Goomba, goes in the back line, Selma Jumbo has power work, but don't need it. Rusty Goomba with his 3rd pick this fight will get Transplant, and it seems that the OTs have got the point. Page will get that barrage kill on the Real Dog, but nothing. That's not even worth it there. And then get another pick here. I mean, they are still building up to the point, but a big sleep and entry from Strudel lands on the Gazette and stops that Wrecking Ball from causing havoc on point and getting even more progress for the Cats. Ox is there, gets the remix. We'll get back in the mix. So a little more percent here. Force the ultimate out of Flambo Jambo as well. Flambo has to use a proper rage, gets Ox back out of the mech, but you really want to hold on to that. But maybe another kill here for Flambo Jambo. Your Season 4 MVP gets another one in the kill feed, and a flip is there for the OTs.
Season 4 MVP and captain of the Arizona OTs. Gotta shout him up for that. I'm sure he's making some great comms in team chat, making sure that the team is on the right track because they do have a very good advantage. But I really like the way that the Cats took that and were able to stall at the point. They got another 20%, but they're really banking on this last fight that's just about to be breaking out right now.
Here we go, Kathek has that minefield, and here comes Netico Visor, so a lot of space being created here for the Cats to advance, but the counter Visor from Luffy, so actually it's a Nano Visor as well, but Real Dog's going to be the one to get the pick. Well, but actually, Exo's going to go down, War goes down, and must have died to his own pulse bomb as it looks like he just used it. And there you go, it looks like the Cats are going to push right over it. They used a lot of ults to get there, but it's going to be worth it. They used it last second Nano there, and a Kathek as well. There is that but Kathek is lighting up this kill feed on this Wrecking Ball. This is an absolute monstrous hamster on this point right now. Looking huge, looking beefy, looking to assert some dominance early.
Beck's doing, it feels like all the right things at all the right times. Not really flanking out that much, but only doing it like once to sort of just like call out their teammates. Maybe gonna be able to find the Tracer, but no, it looks like Roar's gonna call him out. And now Catholic just basically running through their line, but another huge bomb here from Rusty, seeing if they can find anything. Not gonna be able to get anything this time as the fight is, yet again, going to be breaking out here.
Yeah, they aren't gonna get any kills in that self-destruct, but does cause a spacing and catches Page out of position there. They do have the Valkyrie out from Power Priest. It will be enough to beat from Real Dog. Is invested after a boot to get back as well, so the Wrecking Ball off the point, no more stalls, etc. Running around the pillar trying to stay alive, not gonna happen, and now Transpect very sadly trying to 1v1 Rusty Goomba. Does get that mega attack, but here comes Roar with the assist. Transpect is still alive here somehow. Very excellent work there from the outside line for so long. Ox has a bomb on the point right now. Kathek will find Luffy, so it's not done just yet. If Ox can't get the remake on this, Roar is there to clean him up. This Tracer putting in some work, Roar on off-roll, but he can't tell so far. Putting in a lot of work on this Tracer, and just some last minute staggers. Roar cleaning up the kill feed, getting the final blows, and pumping the stats, giving the nano, with the pulse bomb, but not even needed, as the OTs will take this first round 100-94.
Yeah, the first round was sort of firing on all cylinders for basically every player. It felt very close as it went down. A lot of clutch plays and a lot of clutch ult placement between these teams. And it looks like the next map we're going to get is going to be Control Center. So we'll see how these teams sort of switch up their comp. I know you're talking, they maybe want to run maybe more of a brawl here, maybe more of a rush. You can see switches coming out. And now we have the Cats running the Lucio. And it looks like Riddle Dog is going to sort of match the Papa Truse Transflect Lucio with the Strudel Riddle Dog Lucio themselves.
Yeah, this should be very exciting. This should be a point that both teams feel very comfortable in because you have Exerter on that Cassie as well as Kath on the Reinhardt, but you have Flambo Jambo on the Reinhardt as well. So this could be very huge here. The difference between these two comps is the Junkrat versus the Cassidy, who will get more spam in. Of course, you feel Roar is for a comfortable situation. They swap out this Metro though on the side the OT will go towards that Reaper, but we do have this space held and taken here by the Cats early. As Lucky comes to swings in onto Flambo Jambo, the second turret is taken down by Rusty Goomba, but this space again is still held up. Strudel does have an advantage here in the building up here of the Amplification Matrix. Flying pretty weak here, but White Room control is played by that Junkrat spam, like I mentioned. He can't really get anything past it. Rusty flying pretty weak here, but we'll get healed up by Strudel, building up towards that. Oh, yet again, but Flambo Jambo will find first blood here. The Cassie going on the fight. Kathek will hit the charge in the back line, so nothing get any swings on the enemy. It's just completely behind him right now, but gets lasered down by the Amplification Matrix, laid down by Strudel. Basically perfectly timed there. Transfer will play with Jambo though, so Rides are trade. Ox flying very low, but Roars in your back line with a mine. And it looks like that will be enough here for the OTs to keep this point in their favor. I didn't know if they flipped over 20% and counting for them as the next fight's going to break out here. Let's take over.
Yeah, I mean, Strudel absolutely clinical. It felt like I was just watching his ult charge just go up and up and up at an exponential rate and just going in. But it looks like Cavatrice, Amplification Matrix also built up there, but absolutely shut down by Roar's Riptire right there. And now it's going to just be basically a easy fight win for the Arizona OTs.
And yeah, you'll definitely take that excellently used tire there by Roar. Punishes the Amplification Matrix basically, etc. goes off the edge of the map. Don't know what happened there. But we are gonna, yeah, that tire basically comes in at just the right time as the Amplification Matrix goes up and the attack field goes down. So great timing. You got 3 ults here, 4 ults almost building up here for the side of the cast. So this fight, you have to win. Flaming Jimbo has that shatter. We'll look to knock them down on their backs. Get the Cats laying down for a belly scratch, I guess. But here we go. Flaming Jimbo has that shadow. Looking for it, going for it aggressively, but Kathak is there with the shield, and Flaming Jimbo has no fear and goes for it even further. But finds nothing. Here comes etc. with the high noon as well as a nano boost. Or I thought I heard nano boost, never mind, but the Shadow Slash finds nothing as well. Lampo Steel is in the back line. We'll get 2 with that Death Blossom, and we'll see get another one. And the ultimate is using it by Oxy to self-destruct, but they're not going to get anything out of it. And so many ults were used for the Cats, and no progress is gained. Just some great responses coming out here so far from the OTs.
Yeah, their ult uses were absolutely perfect. The way Rusty's Diva Bomb just flew through the huge wall there, it was just absolutely incredible, catching the Cats off guard. Now there's going to be some switches off by the Cats, switching to Soldier, switching to Sombra, seeing if they can sort of get any last fight in here if possible. And it looks like they do have Oaks and ETC on the point, doing whatever they can to sort of create space, but they need to hold on. They need to find some semblance of control. Now they got Transflect right back there, but they have no ultimates. They have really no power in this game, and it feels like it might be over shortly.
And yeah, that tire went around the world in 70 days and found its way to connect again on the Mega Pack all alone. Now just Ox there with the D-Matrix trying to keep himself alive here. Goes down the point, will lose that mech. Pages back off the Sombra, but probably not going to be nearly enough here. As they have in up from Strudel, here comes Ketech on that Wrecking Ball to try to stall out a little bit longer, but War is lighting the kill feed yet again. And the OTs are going to take Control Center with ease and take our first map as well.
Wow, and crazy map. It felt close every time, but once Control Center started, you could sort of see the dominance of the Brawl comp from the Arizona OTs. They were able to sort of fight a little bit better as a team and utilize their ultimates at basically the exact right time. Some amazing tires, some amazing bombs all around for basically everybody on the OTs, and it was just looking like just absolute roll. And I gotta give a shout out to Strudel about how fast he sort of built up his ultimate right there. It felt like he was getting his ultimate in like 10 seconds, and then he just used it, and then they're completely forced off the point, and it was just an easy win for them on that match.
Yes, a very easy win for us, and when we return, we will see what hybrid map the Chicago Cats will take us to, but for now, we'll send you over to a quick map break. Don't go anywhere, it's Gopherwatch League. All right, and welcome back into the stream. We apologize for the slight delay. We had a player kind of go AWOL. They've yet to return, but we are heading in here to BOON1E is going to be our next match here. And you know, after we saw the first map go the way of the OTs, they go here to BOON1E, which we saw that dive, but we saw, you know, oh no, never mind. The cats taking BOON1E, but we saw the OTs be good. The dive comps was going for. So kind of interesting selection here. See if it works out for him.
Yeah, but the cats were kind of getting dominated with the brawl, so I kind of like this compared to like a KR pick, in my opinion. I think the BOON1E is the most dive based, so maybe they might get the most value out of that, but then again, I actually have the privilege to spectate Lumpy Seal on the game that he played in the showcase, and he played Hog on BOON1E like nobody else plays Hog on BOON1E. He was hooking fars out of the sky. He was just playing absolute perfection. So I'm not even scared about this choice. As Catholic jokes in the chat, whose Genji is better, Oaks or Mikey? And I guess we'll have to find out. Actually, we won't, because Oak seems to be on Tracer here.
Well, I mean, we all know that Mikey's washed. That's not really a newsflash to anybody around here. Despite their win yesterday, it definitely wasn't out the back of Mikey. But yeah, we had a lot of swaps coming in here, because we have Rusty Goomba making a swap over onto the Brigida here on a support role. Something we haven't seen Rusty play, I don't think, in Gopherwatch League since at least Season 2, so pretty excited to see the Brig here, the piece parts Brig specialist come to play, and a lot of swaps coming up for the Cots as well. Transpect making the way over to the tank while Ox goes over to the DPS. Hyperbole zeroes in on the Ana, but here we go. The first time comes in, Flambo Jumbo hits that rock, but we'll find out about Bubble. But Transpect gets absolutely melted through that bubble. Really stood no shot there, and the dive kind of puts an end to it right there. We do have a hook from Lumpy Seal to find anything, but this fight's basically over. Lumpy Seal goes off the map?
What?
What?
What? Maybe there's some strategy I'm missing, some like amazing, I don't know, plan that they have, but I don't know, as ETC finds one, finds two, showing that they deserve to be the third overall pick, finds a third as well, with ETC going absolutely insane. We were talking before the match about like how hard it is to do Widow on point A. ETC just showing up and dominating.
I mean, if anybody's gonna make Widowmaker work, it's gonna be etc. And just fantastic shots there, fighting the whole support line as well as a tank to go. Then another one there from etc. Papa Trise putting that blue beam on her teammates and just letting them go to work. And honestly, nothing really the OTs had to answer for that right there. And now Lumpy still comes back in the fight, looking to get a hook. We'll find it on Cathects, but not too much else after that. And it looks like Cask is going to get a huge boop off the high ground. And that control is gone from the OTs now as we start to move in here as the cart rounds the bus.
Yeah, and the thing I liked about the OT's initial comp, it has a cast, it had a Brig, it had an Ana for the sleeves, it had a lot of ways to sort of deny a close range dive. But with ETC, you don't need close range, etc. is just poking left and right, ensuring that nobody gets any value. And Flambo finally being able to sort of shut that down with the Sig Shield there and trying to stop the push, as we might see another fight breaking out very shortly.
We have that, Nana was coming out here, the hook in from Lumpy Still, we'll get etc. And the High Noon is getting Transpect as well. So you trade the High Noon for the sights there and a fight win. Lumpy Still getting that opening pick there on to the Widowmaker. Is going to definitely shut him down. Flame Jembo will find Ox at the end of it. I mean, Kath is still in there getting critical HP. Hopefully Kath will get out with his life there. But yeah, a pretty slow fight here so far. And Lumpy Still gets another hook on etc. He's hunting him down.
Jeez, Lumpy Seal is not afraid of the Widowmaker that etc. is here, and just absolutely showing up and not afraid to sort of do basically whatever it takes. Just walk up to the Widowmaker and do whatever, because at this point you could just have Lumpy Seal just flank around, just keep poking their backline, just keep shutting down them. As Aurora actually uses the Dragon Blade right there, trying to get any value, finds etc. who made the switch to Ashe, but it's gonna be Oaks who gets a pick. Oaks getting another pick, as well as Transplant getting a second one. Papa Triste with the res onto ETC, and this is looking like a pretty dominant fight win for the Cats here.
Yeah, you invest in Nano Blade, you only get one pick there. It's not exactly what you want. The dive continues to use a Nano Boost to kill the Strudel and staggers out this could be point B basically already based off that one Nano Boost. You know, some people might question it, but you can get it on the fight. They can't really recontest here, so the Cats are going to take point B basically for free. We're going to try to contest last second here. Looks, no, can't even get the touch. And the Chicago Cats setting up blistering time back here, 4.5 minutes to take point C.
Yes, however, there is the ult advantage, and you can see the Deadeye did come out. I don't really know what that timing was. Didn't really find much value from it, but another fight just breaking out as ready as Oaks using the Parse Bomb, taking the pick on to Rusty there as well. Now that's going to be a good advantage for the Cats, allowing them to push up to point C with relative ease, taking off the high ground, and now the OTs have to sort of back up, have to sort of retreat as Riddle Dog is also picked out.
Cat going very aggressive here on this dive, and sees the rock and hook being used, so Cat getting in there, building towards that minefield, and again, this card is going very close to the end here. Lumpy Steel trying to be a hero to get some of these picks here. Here comes the Gravitic Flux out from Flambo Jimbo. War's gonna find two. Ox will find one, but War is too juiced onto that Genji, and they're finally gonna get it. Flambo Jimbo with a tactical reset on the minefield and connect, but that's going to be an OT's fight win there. But used a lot of ults there. You only have this naked blade with the whole hog, and the Bob is coming in here for the Cats.
Yeah, with the Bob coming in, you can put on a lot of pressure onto the point, try to take the OTs off however they can, but it looks like they're just going to take some time, do some resets. Looks like Translate's going to switch off to D.Va here. Maybe they think they can get a really big push. They do have Velk, they do have Bob, and they do have Nano. So a lot of things you can time up together, and if you get Cathect with the Nano here, yeah, you know he can do big things.
Yeah, they do spot Lumpy Steel. The staircase forces them out. The hook does not find anything. Here comes the blade out from War. But Poppetry just flies away with the wings. And oh, the anti-synergy coming in here from Lumpy Steel and War. The whole hog pushing the targets away from the blade. Can't get the dash resets. And here come the Cats, just dominating. They only use the Valkyrie there. You still have Bob, you still have Pulse, still have Nano. This is a devastating attack there from the Cats, and a really uncoordinated blade from the OTs going out there. But now the Bob was on the point to try to stop Aiden. Last thing contest. Transfer's going to go down, though. Can't use the deal next. As now, Shrill has to turn on the Blair. We're going to get picked on the transfer. Cat, etc. Will get their counterparts. And here comes Kathek with the Nano Boost. Just swinging on carts. Gets flashbang, but has to shatter. Looks to lay it down. Gets the ball. We'll stop Lumpy Steel in their tracks. Lumpy Steel gets taken down. Now Luke's just swinging around on carts. And there's no last second contest. And a 2-minute, 12-second time bank is set here by the Cats. A very quick point A or quick point C for Nambani especially.
That was amazing. They made all the right switches at all the right times. The ETC Widow, the D.Va, the ult usage there. It all felt coordinated. It all felt practiced. It all felt just elite in the way that they played that point, especially point B, point C, and even point A too. It's just like, you have such a big time bank, and now the OTs may want to switch up their strategy a bit if they want to sort of showcase their dominance. They do have a 1-0 lead in the overall map score, but they do want to make that 2-0. They want to extend their lead as much as possible as we finally get to see the team comps in just a minute.
Yeah, and the thing about pointing here, especially on the attack, what really is the biggest difference to me pointing out here is the difference in support deaths here. The support line of the Cats doing a great job just staying alive. You can look, they have 1 death and 2 deaths respectively, compared to the 5 deaths and 4 deaths there of the OTs. Keeping your supports alive in that fight, pumping up the heals, getting that ult charge, and just like basically being self-sustaining almost, because they're a very aggressive dive coming up from the Cats. So the fact that Papa Triste and Hyperbole Zero can stay alive with no real assistance from their team, no peel, is a testament to their skill there. I think it's a great play there from the OTs, or from the support line of the Cats there. That's really made the big difference in their attack round.
Yeah, and it just feels very, very, like, timed, calculated. Hopefully the Ash Dynamite there, maybe looking for some space, as we do get to see the push coming out here from the OTs, and looks like they are going to run the Lumpy Seal on Hog, maybe try to get some pokes, get a single pick, and then dive in, and it's going to be Flambeau who's going to lead that charge, lead the team, sort of try to take as much space as possible on the Winston here, as they're just looking to sort of scout out, figure out what's on the other team. You got Roar and Flambeau jumping up to the high ground to sort of create the space, as the other teammates are just going underneath, and this could be like a 3-pronged attack, and it could be the advantage that they need.
I mean, it could be, but that's right. Oh, Strudel's gonna get the kill on the Etc. from long range with the debuff from Roar being assistant there. They will get the res, but that's not out of the fight. And Riddle Dog finds another pick on the Etc. Etc. not allowed to play the game here. Taking that Ash out of the fight, this Alakis' damage now gone here for the Cat, but a big C from Hyperbole Zero will stop Riddle Dog. Ox will find Wars the Gig on fight. Riddle Dog 7 taken out there. Hyperbole Zero, another hero play from this Ana. From the Cats, and it's just, I mean, Hyperbole is now just fighting Rusty in a long-range sniper battle, and the Brig is not favored to that one very much. A big agent on the Lumpy Steel as well. Lumpy Steel flying very low, go down. They get 2 ticks though, so So not all for nothing here, and there's not really anybody contesting it except the ball right now. Here comes Ox on that jump there, flank putting in some work here, putting in the nades. Almost has a tire, and they're going to play with Jambo. And look at the Caps, got this fight in the bag, unless that gets punished here by the support line of the OTs. Gets out with 8 HP! Incredible play, but Ox is going to go down trying to help out his teammates. They won't get the res, Rusty goes up a little bit. This fight is absolutely chaotic. And that goes again here against the supports. Gets stunned again. Caps, stop going in here. And here comes a nano break. The great boss comes out from Rusty. Bilbo, Real Dog can get 2 with the Dragon. They get 3. Real Dog.
No way.
A bit of an overstep there from the Cats. The defense there. Going in that small room. Real Dog taking advantage of that. And a huge play to support on OT. You know, I kind of called them out on their defense, but their attack made up for it right there.
Their attack made up for it right there, 1000%. I mean, and also the Hanzo Dragon. You gotta shout that out from Riddle. That made up for it in numbers, in spades, whatever you want to call it. It was absolute domination. So now they're gonna be pushing on to point B here, and it's gonna be all on sort of Cathect and Transflect and ETC because they've already built up their ults as well as the Nano, and they're gonna look to see if they can shut down. But it looks like Riddle Dog is going to shut down Papa Triste. There's no res for her, but unfortunately, or luckily for them, they do get the pick onto Lumpy Seal and using the Flux to pick up Rusty.
And they use the minefield as well. Not really necessary, but they do clear that fight with that minefield. Don't allow any last second meta contesters, and it allows their defense to take the space right back. But yeah, the opening pit from Real Dog I thought spelled doom for the Cats defense there, but they're able to stabilize, use some ults, and get the picks they need to bring it back. Etc. has that bomb now. Get that flag, you're still low yet again. But, I mean, Lumpy Seal is whole hogging, but Transflect is eating it. Here comes a Bob in the back line, tries to force some position here, but 2 picks coming already. Both tanks are gone here for the Chicago Cats. As Flambo Jambo has that primal raid, looks to knock Bob off the point, but Bob's got the screws, breaking his ankles, will finally get off the point, off the map. And they use the bomb, they use the nano, and they get nothing for it. And some great tank outs there from the side of the OTs.
And the OTs do have that hook was absolutely incredible, and now they have the ult advantage, they have the numbers advantage. It feels like both the tanks are still resetting, so they even have the people advantage in this fight here, and it's going to be on the back of Transflect to sort of contest, see what they can do against Lumpy Seal. It is going to get the last second contest onto the point here. It's going to be Cathec picking up the picks, but Roar instantly trades back with the blade right there. It's going to be a pretty even fight thus far. Lumpy Seal getting one onto Transflect. Oaks getting the bomb onto the Strudel. The support line is failing out here, but they are trying to stay alive, trying to shut them down. ETC making the switch to the Widow and actually finds a pick onto Roar here, but it's going to be the Dragon utilized here by Riddle Dog, seeing if they can finally gain some point control, but misses the point a little bit, and it's going to be Cathec who sort of shuts them down.
Kathy will stay alive the entire fight. That's absolutely huge for the Chicago Cats because it means that Exterminator can stay in the back line and get the picks there. Got that headshot on Lumpy Seals, one putting a lot of damage on the Flambo Jambo. So able to get those tanks out of that fight was a huge play there from Katak. Shout out to that Wrecking Ball. Being able to get 10,000 HP and just roll around the card and stay alive in the face of a Roadhog. Not an easy task. And, I mean, they forced Real Dog to use that Dragons as well, so Real Dog went half for his fight. They have the Nano, but no Blade. We could see another raid boss situation here with Lucky Gooba. Cats will get hooked in, but has the armor to stay alive. And they start moving out here. Really, nothing is quite happening. Transfer gonna find Flambo Jambo in a very aggressive dive in, and here comes a bomb. The mine's out from Katak tries to stop it, with Strudel would shut down that hamster with the Bionic Grenade. And Transfer gonna get caught. The Transfer caught with his shoes off, and the Storm Air from behind Riddle Dog going absolutely huge with the left pick on the Hyperbole Zero. But Hyperbole Zero did get that Nano up, but it doesn't matter. Lumpy Seal's gonna land that hook, and despite the early picks coming out in favor of the Cats, it looks like the OTs are the ones gonna take this fight here. Unless Exterminator comes with a monster pick, I just say his name and he strikes. Finds Rusty Hoover with the headshot. Now Papa Trees is getting a whole hog out the point. They cannot touch. So the OTs making that hero play there from Real Dog work.
Yes, the Riddle Dog's Dragons have been absolutely insane. You can see he's already built up another one, so you see how he gets to use it on this one. But it's Grenville's plays from the OTs, those single ultimates that can sort of change the fate, change the sort of storyline in these games. They've already sort of lost the time advantage, but it's going to be a flux coming out from Transflect. Actually finds 4 right there. That's going to allow Catholic to go in, but the Dragon comes out yet again. It's going to split their team in half. Not going to find any picks from it as the fight is breaking out here.
Yeah, the fight's breaking out. Some huge great flux, like you said. Gets all 4 of them down to half HP. And Oxygen between them. The pick on to Rusty. And they're going to also won't find anything, but Roar has already been stomped back to the spawn by Kathek. And the hold is going to continue here with a minute 49 remaining in the clock. All you got to do is get to OT if you are the Cats. That's your best case scenario. Or against full hold right here if you want to. Translate will get anthony out by Strudel though. Strudel has that and boost could look to be missing here. The Mind's out to get that but gets stunned. They'll let it down in the end, but Real Dog is going to get a headshot on extra. That sniper just was asserted. But the rally out from Rusty Gooba will keep the OTs very happy and healthy here in the course to his point. They get the rest onto etc. But it's looking like a last desperation swaps here coming out from the Cats.
Yeah, going into the Rhine, sticking on the ball and sticking on the Widow. And I think those are the characters we're going to look out for to sort of find picks in this situation. They do have Nano on the side of the Cats, but Roar has the Dragon Blade, finds ETC, finds another as Lumpy Steel utilizing Whole Hog to his absolute best ability, sends Catback completely off the map. Many ultimates coming out from all sides here, and the Cats just trying to touch however they can, but they're not going to be able to. Transflect gets shut down, and they're going to be able to push it all the way.
And yeah, that's just honestly just a great offense there at the end of point C, because you get basically held at the choke there at the beginning of C, but you have to break through it with a pick from Real Dog, able to throw in those arrows and get that Windmaker out of the fight, distracts Patrice to get that res up, and you push in aggressively off that. So a great play coming out there from the OTs. The Cats kind of falling apart there at the end, staying on probably not the optimal comp for point C. Point C more known for a brawly situation. The Widow going to have a pretty rough time with those sight lines, with that building on the corner, not giving that full range of the points. But you still have the advantage here. 2 minutes 16 seconds to 1 minute here. And they're going to go the same exact composition here on the side of the OTs, praying for Real Dog to yet again come out clutch with some headshots, or Roar to build a Nano Blade just in time.
Composition on attack, it did work. It worked a little bit less effectively than the Cats composition, but at the end of the day, it works, and now they really just need it to work in this certain situation here. But it looks like Oaks and Translect are going to be making the switch-ups for the Cats here, playing Echo and the Diva respectively in this situation. So maybe going to be playing a little bit more dive, or just like basically just trying to shut down the dive of Flambeau Jambo by being so mobile on this point. But it's all going to come down to this: will the OTs be able to get through point A here?
This is where points come to die, where OTs come to die, is point A of Nimbani. Very good for the defense, getting that extreme high ground control early, looking to take advantage of it, etc. But putting in some work. Real Dog, though, just chucking those arrows in his general direction, 4-6 trying to back up. Real Dog, a menace on this Hanzo so far, but Lumpy still gets a big hook on a Transplant, but they might get the punish on a Lumpy Steel here. Lumpy still playing very low, will go down. So 35 seconds is remaining, and you lost your big tank in presence, so you're probably going to do a quick reset here if you're the OTs, and you run out of time. As Cat goes in, but too aggressive and dies, will get punished. So you're going to lose your tank presence again if you're the Cats on defense, and then with Gemma getting advantage and jump right in. We'll find Soldier and the trains are coming through here on both sides. The rest front through from Papa Triste. Real Dog almost has a dragon here, could possibly get a couple more stray arrows. Ox on that Echo, trying to get those sticky nades, 54% to that duplicate here. But Real Dog 20% away from the dragons, but Rush is going to go down. That's a huge amount of healing. Real Dog will find high purple zero, but will it be enough? Real Dog has the dragons. Looks like, what about Ox? Kills him, waits into the channeling animation. They're not going to get the dragons off. Roar's going to fall as well. And it looks like the Cats are going to hold on defense and not give a single tick. The minute is gone, and now they have 2 minutes 60 seconds to do one better here than the OTs.
So dominant on the first push. I'm interested to see what will ETC decide to do. Will they go Widow? Will they go Ashe? Will they go somebody completely different? Because their first point was taken within about 30 seconds. So giving them 2.5 minutes feels even more like even more than they need in this situation here. And if I'm the OTs in this situation, I need to make a big stop. I know I need to stay together as a team, stay strong, keep our support line up, because it's really going to be on the back of Strudel and Rusty just to keep the entire team up as a whole. And enabling Lumpy Steel, ensuring that nobody is going to get picked out here. But it looks like Lumpy Steel going to make the switch to Sigma and not going to be playing the Hog anymore. Well, the Cats are going to basically do the exact same thing we expected with the etc. Widow.
Yep, the Widowmaker worked last time. Hopefully do the same for him. I would prefer to see something like an Ashe or perhaps a Legs to take that high ground control a little bit easier than just the Widowmaker, hoping to print for headshot. But again, like we said after their last attack, if anybody's gonna make it work, it's gonna be etc. But Real Dog, kind of saying this out here, is gonna go over to that Torbjorn to try to stop this guy dive coming through by Transplant Cath and Ox. That turret could be a pretty big detriment to that move in here. But the double shield, the dishonorable composition has been shown here from the OTs, they'll do nothing to not sustain victory. They give up their own pride. Flambo Jambo, be ashamed of yourself, my guy, playing the horse character.
It's all gonna come on the back of what can Cathek do, because he's the one person who can sort of wrap around the shield, sort of discover their composition and enable these diving characters like Transflake just going in. All they need is one take, but Transflake gets instantly demaxed, instantly shut down. But Lumpy Seal gonna be the first one to get the pick onto Transflake there as well. Cats do have a much larger time bank, and that does mean that they are going to have the time that they need to operate, and operate they do as Oaks finds a pick onto Roar.
Yeah, Oaks getting that pick early is going to be a pretty big factor here, and now they just kind of sit in the point and say, hey, come to us. Here comes the drop in from the Orisa. Gets a huge anti-nade off from Hyperbole Zero from way downtown Bane. But Flambo Jimbo is going to stay up and get pretty healthy here on the point. Lumpy Seal caught out a bit of opposition, but has that heat to get all that armor built up. But Flambo Jimbo flying extremely low, will go down. Ox hitting the headshots, putting the big clip on that big horse character. Lumpy Seal's anti-nade yet again. And now just Rusty Gooba on the point trying to do something. Rusty's gonna get the kill on the Ox though. Sword that going down, and the torque turret goes in, gets transferred out of the mech. So no, we're just of yet. The OTs might have helped us. And look at they've had. This where you want the consistent damage to the legs. Oh, by Fedra, never mind. I called the wood up yet again against the pick.
It's just as you say so. I mean, this fight's going back and forth. It's so hard to track, even from our perspective, and I'm assuming it's hard to track from the player perspective as well. Looks like Flambo going onto the ball here as well. Some interesting composition switch-ups, but it was really going to be Rusty who was holding up on the point, and we do have two ults out. The eyes are going to be used from etc. trying to get some information, get some space, and a lot of ults are going to be able to be enabled here by the Cats, basically utilizing all of them here just to take control. I mean, this is gonna be your last fight here, so you gotta give it everything you got.
Obviously, we'll find Transplex, but they do swap out trades. Excella's gonna find Rusty, so that's that break on the point. It's a lot of healing gone. Now Real Dog will get slipped up. Cannot heal that turret, and they get the res as well on the Transplex, so Demon's right back in the fight. Krill takes the high ground and will get the kill on the etc. Will it be enough? It doesn't look like it, as now Flambo Jumbo critical on the point, trying their darts just to stay alive for as long as they can, but does not look like needed. And good thing the Cats had 2 minutes and 16 seconds, because they needed every last second of it to take Nimbani and send us to a tie game 1-1.
That was an absolutely crazy game. Going through all points on the first one. You can see all the GMs in the chat. Actually, yeah, you can see all the GMs in the chat just because that was absolutely crazy. And speaking of crazy, this isn't even the play I was expecting the dragon to be, but it feels like every dragon from Riddle is absolutely incredible. Just his absolute domination on this character is basically crazy.
Okay, so, you know, Real Dog had a 3-man dragon, but then he comes out and shows us
I was very confused.
one headshot kill is good enough, I guess, for Real Dog.
Yeah. Why did the dragon, like, how does that even work? I feel like the dragon should be, you know, the most eligible one. It gave them the point. It, you know, satisfies, like, all requirements for the play of the game, but, I mean, headshotting, that also works too.
I guess that does, and now we are going into our third map, which is going to be Escort. Which map's going to be? It's going to be OT selection right after this break. This is Gopherwatch League. Don't go anywhere. Alright, and everybody, welcome back here to map 3 of this exciting series so far. It's going the distance, and we are going into our escort map, which is of course the selection of the OTs. We are going to Dorado, which, you know, could work for him. It's a very kind of a brawl slash dive heavy map, so I think both teams are at an advantage here as to what they want to play. So I think this should be a very close one if we head into it. I would not be surprised to see like a 5-4, 4-3 scoreline as we go to the end here.
I mean, even the last map showed how close this can be, and close it can be for a reason. Maybe this map choice is just a play to sort of shut down Cathect, but I feel like this also gives ETC some pretty good sight lines as well.
Yeah, not the best point there if you don't want to shut down, etc.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they have some master plan. It looks like they're going to go with more of a defensive dive composition with the Ana and Brig on the back line for supports, as well as the Hanzo and the Tracer here to sort of shut them down. So I'm interested to see if they're going to be playing a little bit more aggressive, as the Cats are just going to stay in the back, make sure they're not scanned by the Hanzo arrow, and finally, looks like they're just going to be rolling out here. Literally, if you're Catholic, and metaphorically, if you are everybody else on this team.
I can tell you what the plan to shut down etc. is, and it's Rusty Goomba on the Diva. That's basically his job here, and if ever can do it, it's going to be Rusty Goomba. But, I mean, we're going to get a lot of spam damage coming in here on the tank line. Flamingimbo playing pretty weak here, but Wiggle Higgle at 35% of their ult already. The Ana building up very quickly towards this Nano Boost, but Xetra's going to find Roar. Widowmaker strikes first. Roar, of course, giving their friend a comment in the chat with a nice shot. And Ox has that focusing beam down. We'll take Rusty Goomba out of the mech. And there you go. The Cats are going to bust open this defense right away. And the dive is sent backing to the bottom of the sea with all these daggers. Our Rusty Goomba going down to Ox is doing work on his Echo.
Ox absolutely clinical on the Echo. ETC making sure that they have sight lines on basically everybody, well shutting down Roar on the back line, doing everything they need to, and that's going to give them a lot of progress up onto point A here. But it does give the Arizona OTs a chance to reset. You can see sort of staggering, waiting to be back as an entire team to go back in for a fight.
They have this chance coming in here, but again, a lot of damage coming from Ox early on support line with those sticky bombs. Forces the packs out of Struder pretty early here, so that resource is now very limited as fight goes on. But Roar's gonna find Power Trees in the backline, so a good opening pick here for the OTs as they look to move forward here. So many critical people. Roar dies to the Venom Mine. There's so many people getting critical on the side of the OTs. They're forced to really do some weird shenanigans here. Real Dog has the Dragon straight down main. We'll find Power Tracy. Tracy trying to get to the doors, but she got stuck on the wall. You hate to see it, and it looks like the OTs seem to stabilize a bit on the defense here. Off the DPS gives some picks.
But ultimate check for the Cats, though. I mean, you can't, like, I mean, you've seen them utilize their ultimates in the best way possible, and they have every single one of them at this moment. You can see them use 3 ults here and sort of just take control of the fight, where on the other side, you only have the Diva ult, the Winston ult, and the Nano that Ana has here. So they're going to be just looking to sort of shut down their team in any way they can, and the instant pick by Oaks, the instant pick by Transflex, that's what you need to do in this situation here. The eyes do go out, but it does not matter because the picks are going to come through. They don't even need to use all the ultimates. They're just going to be able to shut them down.
I mean, you have 6 ults, and you use Widowmaker sight lines, which isn't the most impactful ult in the game, and the bomb, and that's all you need. That's a great play coming from the Cats right there. They seem to have woken up from their first map slumber, and now they have these 4 ults to push in here, and they have this point B, which is very good for Widowmaker sight lines if they can take control of high ground, which is exactly what Transflex doing right now, trying to stay in that mech. Looks like they're going to do it. No, they're not. They're going to get taken out. But Ox has a duplicate, so we could see another Diva on the field.
You're going to.
Ox does have a duplicate. Ox has a lot of power, but power is going to be coming from etc. right there, getting the pick onto their DPSs. There are ults in play for the Arizona OGs, though. It looks like it's going to be the Winston duplicate instead of the Diva duplicate, but either way, can do a lot of damage here, can put down a lot of pressure. Payload's just going to be pushed, but it's going to be a pick from Flambeau onto pushing in the backline that's going to sort of slow them down here.
An interesting duplicate there coming up from Ox, gets the duplicate on the Winston and just kind of waits there for the ult to build up, just naturally building up time. Russ is going to get in their backline. We'll find Power Tracer, so the Ana out of the fight. Their main source of healing is now gone as the OT look to probably bring this back here, but Bushi's going to get that resurrect on their support counterpart. And the Nano is applied to Cathect as they go in the backline there, but Rusty Goomba has the bomb. Will find any picks? No, it will not. But does force pushing in an awkward position. Will he goes going to fight, etc. The support combat is beginning here. Transflex gets the bomb kill on the real dog. Transflex hits some pretty nasty bombs here on Dorado. So it's very critical, but East Anthony as well. Transflex having a very good fight here on that Diva character. Gets that will go in the backline, has the mind flame, identifying two weeks, but they do have the rally after Trudeau. Trudeau gets Anthony, but not gonna be near enough with the armor in the backline. Roar has that tactical visor, and backline occupied. Wiggle Higgle, so 1-1 trade, both out and taken out. And we do have the sights out for etc. But the wings are too good from pushing, they can dodge the visor out from Roar, and again, Exter's gonna fight another pick here. Rusty trying to slow him down, but the pushing support is there. Exter staying live, no there, touch the play, slow it down, very weak, but Real Dog has the Dragon respawn. Looks at least from there on the point. Wiggle Higgle come back with that Nano Boost, good 2 flame with Jumbo on the point with Tukuba. Finds Exter finding it when they're going down, but dive in for the bank here. 2 flame with Jumbo will space out that on and outlaw. Any heals to come through, as it looks like the OTs have somewhat stabilized here. Transfer going very low. Will lose the mech. The bomb is planted here, but that bubble from playing with Jumbo isn't just the right place, it's just the right time. Sleep whiffs from Wiggle Hagel, but not going to nearly enough. Ox will get the duel get there on to the Diva, looking for that self-destruct, but flying very weak, and now he's Trudeau just running him down mid, trying to get anything done, can't build the duplicate, self-destruct here from Ox, 16 health and going down, and somehow the OTs have stabilized here on the defense, and they have the ultimate make it work. Flambo Jimbo has that prime rage, still going in the backline, the rally from Strudel yet again, a second rally this fight, Flambo going crazy in the backline, just pushing around with this giant monkey's fist. And there you go, Real Dogs finally got cleaned up, and the OTs have finally stabilized, and so much time was wasted there.
Yeah, so much time wasted there if you're the Cats, and a lot of ultimates effectively wasted. They came into this fight about, 2 years ago when it started with 4 ults, and now they only got 1, maybe the mines being built up for Cathect, but with only a minute left to push, and Visor and Nano, and the Nano Visor potential on the side of the OTs, it's really going to be on the back of Roar and Wiggle Hagel to sort of find a way to shut down the Cat's push.
Here comes the Nano Boost, Patrice goes down, they do trade out though, they get Flambo Jimbo so the monkey's out of the fight, and Cathect uses those minefields on the point, Rusty Goomba throws out those bombs, but dies! Just runs right into the minefield with self-destruct. Such a huge misplay from Rusty Goomba. They're gonna lose it on the Diva, and they get rid of the Power Tree, so it's a 2 trade here in favor of the Chicago Cats right now. But a boom from Strudel! Strudel's gonna kill Ox and maybe kill Cathect here, so can't get back. The Power Tree is not gonna work. Strudel going absolutely monstrous moves here on the Brigida, because another Strudel is going bananas on the Brigida. 3 kills, and make another rally for Strudel. 3 kills, 3 rounds on point B, and it looks like a very good point defense here for the OTs. It was looking rough at some points, but Strudel makes some hero plays here on Brigida and makes it work.
Order with the Dragon to sort of close it out, shut down basically anybody in their tracks. The legs for ETC just gonna come back, touch, maybe use a visor, maybe just get shut down here, as it looks like the OTs are gonna stop the Cats just before point B.
And yeah, they're gonna do that. I mean, the only thing Soder's got in his sights is his defense coming up here, because Desperation Visor not quite gonna work out. I thought for sure the OTs, threw that away there with Rusty Goomba using that bomb, but falling into the minefield and get that laid right under him. I thought that was gonna be enough, but the hero plays coming up from the Brigida of the OTs is gonna be enough. Gets that boop off, or kills the Genji as well as getting the boop off on that Wrecking Ball. So good enough, I'd say. Get the support and lay that damage. Who's ready to take some punishment? Looks like the Cats were in that situation. Now we're going in here onto the attack here for the OTs. And I assume we're going to see probably the same exact comp coming out here, because it worked very well from the defense and it works well on offense as well.
Yeah, same thing works. If it ain't broke, at the end of the day, you cannot fix it. But looks like the Cats are going to make a couple switches here. They're going to go Transflect on the Sake. They're going to go etc. on the... oh, well, just trade. I feel like every time I talk about a player, they switch back and forth. Yep, there it goes again. All right, we'll just analyze the fact that pushing is going on the Brig to sort of mirror the support line of the OTs, and we got Oaks sort of as a flyer, and that's going to be very hard to shut down for people like Riddle and Roar. Can't really get much damage unless you close distance on that, so hopefully going to be able to get some serious damage, and you can see somebody else who's getting serious damage is going to be Cathect, just trying to find whatever flank they can.
My biggest concern here is that they have the Echo and the Ash, both characters that like being populated by Mercy, and there's no Mercy for either of them. So this could be rough here, but they don't have any hard hit scan players, so Ox should be fine up in the sky. It just can etc. get that value on the Ash character with the dynamite alone without the damage boost. Looking for right now is the You know, the Sigma and the Wrecking Ball on the high ground, putting in some spam damage. Real Dog is there to meet him though. Here comes another Diamond out from etc. Not gonna find anything but the card. It looks like Rusty Coin is extremely low as well as Flambo Jambo, but they're starting some free point progress here as the Cats are kind of playing for the next point here, or for the next choke.
Yeah, playing for the next choke, doing a good job of rotating towards the outside before you go in, letting Flambo sort of go into the fight, but Flambo gets Biotic nated there, and as well as Cathay getting Biotic nated, but right before they shut down Flambo, trades are going both ways as Roar and Riddle Dog just trying to perform in the backline. Roar, solo effort, absolutely amazing, but it's not gonna win them the fight at the end of the day. He gets shut down by Oaks. This is gonna be a little bit hard for the Cats though, because they have a long way to reset.
They have a long way to reset, and I just had to check that fight, how much HP Rusty got up with. It was 6 HP on that mech as they're fighting off etc. getting that kill. So able to keep the mech there is a huge play here for the OTs and a huge boost to their attack, but Transport is at the choke already ready to meet them there. As your support, but high ground position is claimed here by the OTs, so etc. going to have a bit of a rough time taking that back here. But almost has the Bob to look for. Cat looking for a big slam in the choke. Here comes the Dynamite. Flambo Jambo set on fire. Little roasted monkey for dinner, but Pushi's going to fall down to the pulse bomb from Roar. A huge opening pick, and here comes the DPS for the OTs. Open up point A like a can of tuna, and it's looking absolutely destructive here in the back line with his dive. Clean up the kills, clean up the kill feed. Flambo Jambo get all the kills, and looks like they're going to see a point A capture for the OTs.
Yeah, the back nade will seal the deal onto Cathay, just shutting him down, making sure that he can't even escape out. They want point A, and now all they need to do is push it just a little bit close to the end of point B, and they will have their victory secured. But remember, this is the point where I don't want to say it's the one that where all leads go to die, but at the same time, we saw an amazing lead go to die, so we could easily see that again.
It's definitely where all leads come to retire. You know, it's possible that they don't die, but they certainly retire and make it worth your while. But we do have a lot of ult building up here for the defense, and they went over to that double hit scan. You can ask Rusty Goomba himself. Double hit scan on Dorado B is an absolutely broken composition and should be banned. But they have that control. Transport gonna drop over on the point, has that, and then a boost ready to take some positioning, but there's nobody there. They do get Rusty Goomba out of the mech, and the rock slams Rusty Goomba's head in with a boulder and sent back, and 2 picks should be just enough. Just what the doctor ordered. Transflex though might be a bit of an issue here. Transflex has to use the Gravitic Flux just to stay alive from Flambo Jambo, and Flambo Jambo is going to get punished, but I think you'd be willing to trade your life for a Gravitic Flux there in that situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it gets a stagger, but they're so close to the start of point A that it doesn't really matter that much at this point. They can just reset in about 5 seconds, especially if it's a character like Winston. Maybe expecting to get more value off that. I'm not 100% sure, but just doing a little bit of poke damage here. You can see Riddle Dog just looking for whatever angle they can, as it seems like Kath and Oaks is going up to high ground, but the bomb's going to be invested by Rusty. Shuts down Kath as Riddle finds Oaks, and as well as a pulse bomb. Bombs, they're firing on all cylinders. They're getting the picks they need, and they are taking control here.
Yeah, Roar and Real Dog go pretty nuts there in the kill feed, but Rusty Goomba is well placed. That bomb on top of Kathek's head. There's nothing I don't know, 17,000 ton ball of metal can protect a hamster from a giant dynamite bomb laying on top of them. But we come in here, the bomb is there for the contest, and just the swing through from Kathek's gonna kill Roar. Strudel dies mid-cast of the rally. They're gonna lose out on that huge ultimate here. Kathek is putting in some work here on the point. Wiggle Hickle doing the best to stay alive, but Real Dog is there to keep up. But it's not going to be nearly enough here, and with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the clock, Flambo Jambo is just bullying except on the back line, but there's the Immortality Field to keep him alive. They use the Immortality Field just to stop the Joker from getting a kill. And yeah, there you have it. Another fight win here, and you're at the end of your wits here. If you are the attackers, you got to deal with the defensive spawns coming through now for the Cats.
Gotta deal with the defensive spawns. You also gotta deal with the ultimates here, as well as Pushin building up rally. They could use that at any time. Kathek with the mines just able to deny space with basically every single one of these ults, but they're getting point progress. Well, the Cats just sort of sleep here, and looks like Pushin's just gonna invest rally just to sort of push off Roar from the point. I don't know if they're gonna get that much value off it, but at least gonna slow the OTs down for a little bit, and that might be all they need.
So a pretty interesting use of the rally there. Use rally and you get as far away from teams as possible so nobody gets armor. But yeah, there's not the trade from getting that point capture, and now the ball has already returned to the fight. The dragon comes out from Real Dog. Both Flambo Jambo's trade out. Transflex gets that kill. Roar putting in some work on the Paltricia, but it doesn't matter. Transflex is going, I don't know, monkey mode in the back, gets 2 kills and gets out with their life. It's Working out pretty well for Rusty going to lose the mech there as well, so a huge stack coming through it. Now there's 1 minute left in the time bank. What do you have to use for ultimates if you're the OTs? The Cats might have got this in the bag.
The Cats may have it in the bag, but the OTs doing whatever they can to sort of steal that bag. They do have the Pulse Bomb, they do have the Nano, and they do have the Diva Bomb as well, so able to put down a lot of pressure, but with ultimates being pretty even on both sides, you gotta make every ultimate count, make every moment count. You have 1, maybe 2 fights left, so you just gotta make it as a team, gotta time everything right before this fight breaks out.
And so much stall potential coming in here from the Cats as well. They have the Bob in proper rage, and they have the Wrecking Ball there as well. The bomb comes in! Look at the kill, but Bob is already invested before it goes down. But Gethek is knocked out the point again by Strudel. Putting it through Rusty Goober's gonna lose that mech though, doesn't have the bomb to remech, but Flambo Jimbo has that Nano move putting in some work. Tripping HP might get that Promo Rage just in time, as Rusty and Flambo are on the point. Transplant is there with the Promo Rage, batting people around, but Rusty Goober flying very weak. Strudel! Use the run, dives instantly to Ox on the high ground. Now Flambo Jimbo goes down. The DPS here for the Cats coming up huge. They get 3 kills between the 2 of them, etc. I mean, Real Dog is there on the Doomfist, but dies instantly. And it looks like he just breaks that shit from Roar, but Ox is there at the high noon.
Knock him down.
Made him wait for the
High
meeting
noon.
and takes the position. And yeah, they get the point, and the Chicago Cats are going to test to a match point here, up 2-1.
Up 2-1, and that's exactly what you need. That map going so close, both teams knowing exactly what to do. And if you're talking about people who know exactly what to do, that hold on point B of the Cats attack by Strudel, absolutely amazing. Getting picks every time they need. Obviously, a great anti by his support counterpart as well, but so much damage. You can see how fast the ultimate is built up, how much he's able to do on support. So great job by Strudel there, even though the Cats did get that win.
Great job by Strudel, and we even got to go to a map break, it seems, because Flambo Jambo has called KR, but we're going to see if the Cats have agreed to the veto. I don't know if they did or not, I wasn't in the chat, but because if they did, we go to KR, there's a Brawl Haven, and we're going to map 5 at that point, because the OTs are very good. The Brawl comes, oh, they don't veto, so we're going to the 2CP.
No way. No way.
Well, I mean, you ask if you're going to veto first. You don't say, hey, go KR, because like, oh, they want to go KR? We're just not going to veto then.
Oh, I mean, part of me, like, doesn't even want to go to break right now just because of the fact that, like, Paige just stepping up. We don't veto that. Nope. I mean, they showed their cards. They showed that they wanted KR, and now it's like, it could backfire on them.
Yeah, this could backfire on them. And when you go to Anubis, you know what Anubis A is very good for? A Widowmaker. You know who's the best Widowmaker in the league right now? Etc. So this could be a bit of a fumble the bag from Flambo Jambo for demanding the KR but prematurely before the veto. But it does look like we're probably going to take a bit of a match break here as we get the map set up as well as the swaps. So we'll see you on the other side of this break. Can the Cats take their first win? Can the number 10 beat the number 9 in the power rankings in a huge upset bout? You don't want to go anywhere. Let's go for Watch League. Hello everybody, welcome back to Mat 4 of this series between the Chicago Cats and the Arizona OTs. And we are heading into Temple of Anubis, which, like we kind of discussed on the prod earlier, kind of plays into both teams' strengths here. So, just like the last map, we could see a very close Mat 4 here as the Cats take their series 3-1 and make the quote-unquote upsets over the number 9 seed in our power rankings. But you got to point out that Camera 27 has finally arrived, the hero that the OTs neither asked for nor deserved. We make our jokes here, we love Camera 27, but that's kind of the biggest change here, as everything else seems pretty standard amongst both teams.
Yeah, pretty standard amongst both teams, and what's most standard to me is going to be the etc. pick of the Widowmaker. I mean, the OTs had the ability to pick the map. They could have chosen, you know, a 2CP that's a little bit less beneficial to Widowmaker, but maybe just trying to shut down the ball. Maybe that's their strategy. If they can sort of keep the Widowmaker at bay, rotate as a team, and double shield is a great way to keep the Widowmaker at bay at the end of the day. ETC asked in chat, are you guys matching Widow? And I don't even know if anybody would want to. I think they're just gonna match with the double shield and not worry about the Widow.
Yeah, you don't want to worry about the Widow. And I mean, I know who sort of scared of us, the Widowmaker on the other side. You can see him looking like, oh, they give Capra 27 a roar, the Widowmaker. You know, they're very famous characters. So as they're going here, etc. trying to get a jump shot in. As the rotation occurs here, Cap ready to knock him off the high ground. And we were talking about before the map even started, like, why'd you play ball here, but you can knock the double shield off the high ground. They're winning it, and look at they are. So Cat's in a position to potentially knock him down. Tower 27 looks to stop that wrecking ball from going through, put in some work. A huge 8-nade from a Hyperbole Zero on the flank, but Rusty was going to find Etc. early here. So the Widowmaker pressure is now gone, but Pedro get that res. Hyperbole Zero also just skirts away scot-free after they get that 8-nade off. And back with the team. They're very safe and sound, and we're 70% that Nano already. He's looking to be a really the opener that the Cats need on this attack. As a double shield holds strong on the high ground right now. And yeah, there's really not much to say as both teams just poking and prodding for positioning here as we're working by Page. And with the finishing out of the fight, you can probably say the Cats are going to send it back to spawn, and look they are.
Yeah, to win this fight, you really need to find some way to shut down Rusty, shut down Flambeau. I mean, Kefek knocks down Rusty there, but at the end of the day, maybe it does matter as Oaks actually finds that pick. I mean, your team is not reset back with you, but if you can get more picks, if you can piece together these crucial picks like the one Oaks just got onto Flambeau there, Translate basically shutting down the turret for them, and now the Cats are getting some momentum, they're getting some potential, and they're going to be able to contest this first point.
I mean, that would have been some poetic justice if Ox kills 3 and then the Torp turret is what does them in, but gets the heals to Hyperbole Zero and gonna stay alive. And now the flank captors coming through here. That's gonna go down. There's gonna be enough probably for a recontest here if you are the OTs, but looks like they're backing up for the next point. They're giving us up. And now look at the ultimate of the Cats here. You have a lot to use. We could see a fast capture here at both points.
Could see a fast capture, but Flambeau Jambo did just get the ult as well as us, Rusty, and the Caber ult. So a lot of sort of ways to deny space and ensure that their team has the advantage as Strudel's going to get the ult, and I believe Roar is going to build up his ultimate very, very quickly. We have basically almost all ultimates on all sides, and looks like some are going to start coming out right now. The bomb coming out, finding Strudel, absolutely denying, and that's going to be the initiation to the fight that the Cats need.
That's a huge purple in the corner from Hyperbole Zero, but nobody sees it! They all stay alive, but they get them all out of there. And here comes Rusty Goomba with the flux in the air, but dies before he can slam them all down. And here comes all the ults here finally coming through. The Transcendence is there from Strudel. Nobody's ever received the healing. And the BM blade on the Transcending Zenyatta. And it goes out of that. Oh, Coward Plays are going to get slipped out of the spawn. And Roar flying very weak. Oh, Ox gets another pick. Ox is going absolutely huge on his Genji here. On top of with Rusty Goomba. They somewhere on Wrecking Ball by a huge in the game from Hyperbole Zero. Hyperbole Zero, the unsung hero right now of this attack. Laying the sleep, but here come the stalls. So Flambeau Jambo going down, Roar as well. Real Dog forced to use that fade on the point, tries to keep team alive here with the ores, but Ox is being a nuisance. Rusty Goomba is there to swing around, has the armor building up, but has to get the big slam, but nobody's there to follow up as no pick comes through here for the defense. As the attackers look to stabilize the point, Roar is there for no shot, but a big sleep from Hyperbole Zero. What a sleep they are right now on this Ana character. Real Dog's finally going to get a pick, but here comes the bomb from Transport on the point. Will they get it? No, but it does go off the point. The C9 is insured by that bomb, and 3.5 minutes in the time bank for Chicago Cats. What an attack.
What an attack right there. They just went in and they were not afraid to press the Q button, utilize the ultimates that they had so safely built up, and just utilizing them one after another after another. They got pick after pick after pick at the exact right times, and it felt like they were never going down. They were backed up by Paige and Hyperbola on the support line, and they just did absolute work on the start of this map. And I think if you're the Arizona OTs, this is probably not the reason that you wanted to go Temple of Anubis. You want to have a strong B hold, and on B you can get strong holds because of the quick reset time. We sort of saw that there. However, they weren't able to do so. They weren't able to hold on. They were just bought themselves a little bit of time, but that little bit of time is only going to matter if they're able to push it all the way here.
And you'll have to see what they go for, but it's going to be a pretty hard brawl composition coming for the attack here for the OTs. They have that Reinhardt, they have that Doomfist, so they're looking to get some picks and get them early as they go just absolutely Oonga Boonga mode on them and W into your backline. But look at the comp that the Cats are playing. That's not the best here for a brawl composition because who do you go on? They all so spread around. So who are you going to go? Who are you going to attack? Who are you going to be able to get on? Because Exeter's, 3 stories above you. Nothing the Ryan can do about that. The Ana is also in the same spot, and they're always going to play spread around. So this could be a rough attack here unless they see a big pick from Caber or perhaps Roar on the Hanzo. As they go through the choke here, they are going to rotate in through a bit of a sonic arrow to see if it was hiding on the corner. Nobody is right now, but here comes Ox just chucking in the grenades. Ox has 35% of a tire already, so it's chucking in the nades down in that small room. But here comes a rush here. They do isolate Translate. Translate's going to go down. So there you go. A good attack here. Start out for the OTs right now. See if they can get anything done to capitalize on top, but Hyperbola Zero will kill the King Rotavio with a nade. And Ox going to find Flambo Jumbo, but it looks like the brawl is going to work just fine here. And they're going to capture point A and crack it open pretty darn quickly. And they might be able to match the time bank if things go well.
That's only if things go well. I think point A is the easy one of the two. You gotta perform on point B, but first you gotta take off ETC. Strudel finally getting that boop down, and they are gonna be able to capture the point there. I actually love this composition choice from the OTs. I think this is exactly what they need. You could see them on the first map, how confident they were with Brawl just rushing in as a team, just creating so much space. Strudel doing an amazing job of just getting boops exactly when you need to, but Riddle Dog shut down, and that's going to be the opening to the fight that the Cats need.
Yep, and that's going to be good enough. I don't know how Riddle Dog was low enough to die to a slam bike attack, basically coming through the choke. Cats will get punished, but he won the fight basically for his team, so he deserves this rest. He deserves this reset. And now they're looking to ultimating up here. Ox has a tire. They have the minefield. So much stalled and Brock goes out and nothing except the window here to use for the OTs as they start to move forward here. I mean, there's just so much spam damage coming through these chokes. The Brawl's going to be so weak coming through, and Kazak's going to be their slam, the jump grinds, the sig balls. There's so much for the damage in here. It's going to be pretty rough to approach here through the Brawl. But they all started moving in here as Ox has a tire. Their Kazak uses the minefield. Not get too much, but they get 2 picks early despite that fact of the minefield. The minefield, thank you very much, pushes forward, making us push that W, but Cass gets go through and kills some of the backline. Cass on the wrecking ball, doing so much on his B right now. The slam comes through, can Cass get another one, etc. Finds Rushy, and it's going to be enough for the defense here to stabilize. As Strudel trying to use the beat, they're down 4. That is a bit rough, and we have the Ajax in the chat. That is devastating. That was 3 ults used by the OTs for 1 tick only.
And Rusty's ult, as well as Strudel's ult, were just used late. And I think Caber's ult as well, just utilized, like, when the fight was already over, when they should have been taking a dry fight to sort of, like, build up all ultimates because they only had one with 60% on the rest of theirs. They now have sort of staggered out their ultimates, but it's going to be the Dragon from Roar to initiate this next fight and start taking some space.
Flammo Jumbo has a shadow that could look to lay it down on the Sigma to take the Sigma out of the fight, but no, going for a decent swing on through and gets all the kills. Riddle's going to fall, but the tag time for the OT is doing enough. Ox takes himself out of the fight, but the Cerberus found Tabor 27. So even trades going through here. Another tick is garnered here for the OTs, and Flambo just gets the flyby swing on a Page. Takes them out of the fight. It does need to have used a shatter. It could use it to stop the wrecking ball in this spot, but here's a huge block after Translate, as well as the minefield could be enough to bring it back. Doesn't maybe look like it as Roy's gonna find Translate, but Ox just sitting in the minefield as a Tracer can't kill him just yet. Rusty Goomba gets the pistol whip on Hyperbola Zero in the oh, the C9! The C9!
No way! they didn't realize it was that close. They didn't realize that there's only a sliver of a tick left, and they all just went into the room, and it was just an effective C9. What was that? We're gonna be going to basically a second round of these maps, and geez, that was crazy.
And we said blistering fast time for the Chicago Cats, but a 2-second advantage here for the Arizona OTs. That is, wow. That's a pretty egregious C9 because the Cats won that fight outright there at the end. They got the picks they needed to stabilize on the defense. But, ooh, that's gotta hurt. Especially if that comes back to bite you and we go to potentially a map 5. That I'm not going to be, you know, a doomer about this, but you could potentially not win. You're going to look back on that C9 specifically and wonder where everything went wrong. But here we go. You can make it all back up. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. But we do have a pause being called by Flambeau Jambo here, as we'll have to see what's going on.
Well, we can pause to analyze the comps at least. It looks like even on defense, they're going to stick with more of a brawl type composition. Obviously, you have Rusty and Caber for that mobility, but you do have Strudel and Riddle, the dominant force, the boops exactly when they need to, and maybe Strudel going to be able to find some boops at the right time, but the Cats just going to the comp that they're most comfortable with, the sort of dive or hybrid dive with the ball and with the Widowmaker in the back line, and it's going to be all on ETC kind of again to sort of get the picks when they need them most.
Yeah, but it's a lot harder in the brawl composition now because the double shield, at least you're playing a bit spread out. You got 2 shields to worry about, but you could find a crack in them. The brawl is going to stick so close together, so you're going to have to catch somebody completely off guard if you want to get this kill. And, I mean, I can see we can get an update on the Dorado Ducks game, perhaps. I'm looking in the chat, but I, for some reason, can't find my Dora stream. I found it just now, opening it up. I'll give you guys an update once we get onto it, but 2-1 series here for the Cats right now. Could take it home. It is 2-1 Ducks right now for the map, and it is going to be... Okay, yep, they just finished that last map, so it just went to 2-1. I was about to say, why are we playing Escort for map 4? But 2-1 Ducks against the Frogs. So can the Frogs make it a map 5 series? The Flambeau Jambo is ours, so we are getting back into the series here momentarily. Hopefully all the problems have been worked out. Kemper 27 had to get a quick massage for all the carrying he did on the Doomfist. Work out those knots in the back.
Hey, always important to work out the knots in the back. Gamer muscles at the end of the day. You got to keep them at their prime. That's what the one and the only Invictus tells me every time I go into a map. I'm just like, got to stretch out, got to warm up, got to make sure my blue beam is ready to be placed. And hopefully Paige's blue beam is ready to be placed as we get to see them on the attack here.
Yeah, the gamer muscles. I can definitely see Invictus hitting the gym, working those flicks with those wrist movements. But here we go, moving again. Fox gets CP right below them, but Kemper 27 is on the high ground, the high perch. And now it's a sniper battle between the Doomfist and the Reaper. So I thought I would see. Kemper stays a little too long, and it's going to fall early, so that's the pick they need. They fight, and Xendo's going to find the immortality of as well. But Transfer goes a little too deep on that dive. Paceward with their life, but now Cass is set in the background with the Reaper as Hyperbole Zero chucks the nade in from way downtown. Oh, but Roar gets the freeze on the Ox. So it's a 2-for-2 trade right now, as there's still a fight going on at Choke, as Rusty Goomba is just holding back like 4 on his own right now as the Diva player. Strudel is going to get intonated up, and Strudel might potentially fall here, but Hyperbole Zero where weak as well. Hyperbole Zero is going to go down. But Trespec comes in with the zappy zap of the Winston. He doesn't do much damage, but everybody's weak. He gets those kills. Cameron's going to get a punch over on the Reaper. So this is a very disorganized fight right now, but that's going to benefit the Chaos comp run by the Cats right now. This ball composition. And then they're finally back on the point, and a huge 18-8 from Hyperbole Zero is going to get 2 members down. Hyperbole Zero on the high ground. We'll see Rusty forced to drop, but Transpet's going to die to Real Dog. Real Dog on the back, he's had to win a clutch, to invest it. Flamma Jambo playing very weak and is 18-8, but the Reaper is there to kill Real Dog. The Bat Punch taking out a fight, and it looks like the Chicago Cats have got this point A capture. Roar's going to come in for a last second test. Maybe build that Blizzard for point B, as Raid no else to use to speak up for his team, so this is all, it's going to have to be big.
Yeah, this next fight's going to have to be big. Great job by the Cats of playing that aggressively, playing the right places, and etc. Especially just getting those picks when they needed it the most. The second that the Arizona OTs started getting staggered, that was when it started going downhill, and from there on, it's gonna be harder and harder. But going onto a map where you also don't want to get staggered if you're on offense here, especially with 30 seconds on the clock.
Transflex is gonna get frozen in the middle of that Primal Rage. Flambo Jumbo in the backline does have that shatter, does look a little bit down. No, but Transflex is just jumping them around. Oh, but they get the shatter onto the Primal Rage. It's gonna punish them. They're gonna punish both main tanks or trade out here. There's gonna be a lot of ults thrown in on the point here. Roar is gonna be Anthony, but look at Steven, and it looks like Hyperbole Zero is like to live. Hyperbole Zero gets an ant. What? How is Hyperbole Zero still alive? Ooh, what a whiff by Roar. That's absolutely a huge play. This could prevent the item. As here comes the mine, as well as the Death Blast out from Ox and Kathek. But they do finally get Hyperbole Zero down. And we're going to have Roar coming back here with the Blizzard. But they do get a free tick here, basically. So, you know, this could be just enough to win, but the ults are there for the defense. It's probably going to be enough here. Transflex finds Carry 27, but the Blizzard on the point. Basically spells doom for the Cat's attack. But you will take 3 and a tick with 2 minutes in the time bank. You know your win condition.
You do know your win condition. Your win condition is just ensuring that they cannot get that 1 tick and then stalling as much as they can on point A. It doesn't matter if they get point A. All that matters is if you have the advantage and we're just able to shut them down at the end. It's all gonna be on the Cats defense and to see if they can find a way to shut down this brawl comp that Flambeau has been running.
You know, I don't have the music nor the image pulled up, but I gotta give Roar. Congratulations, Roar. You are the first Swiffer Wet Jet whiff of the day with that kill on the Hyperbole Zero. 5 HP as a Mei against an Ana, and they survived for so long and managed to get to sleep on you. That's a Swiffer Wet Jet whiff of the day. Congratulations to Roar on that prestigious
music?
award. The price is right.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, we're sadly we're on the quote-unquote professional stream here, so we can't do any of these, you know, co-stream shenanigans I did last year, and this one just yet.
So they removed BOON1E as commissioner, and now they're slowly depleting his power.
they're sadly removing my position, but giving me all the same responsibilities of producing and casting. So we'll have to see where my pay increase comes in, or if I get more PTO perhaps in the future. But my contract negotiations aside, we're moving into the attack here for the OTs, and they got 2 seconds more on a time bank, which I guess, if it's 37.3%, those extra 2 seconds could be the difference. But let's see how it goes here against the Pharah and the Widowmaker spam competitions in this brawl. Might have some problems if they can't get a pick early.
Yeah, they really comes down to the pick early, but it could also come down to the picks from Oaks and etc. here, just seeing how much they can do. You can see the Pharah Mercy switch from Oaks. I like this call. It allows them to sort of push from multiple directions. You got pressure from ETC, you can have pressure from Oaks, but the pressure is going to really come out from Flambeau, just getting onto the point, diving in. Finally, the pick comes through by Oaks, taking out the supports. Flambeau also going down, but getting the DMAC onto Transflect in the fight, going fairly even so far. It could be really anybody's fight, just comes up to who's clutching.
Fight is barely even so far, but you have Caper 27, Transflect Sniper, Doomfist taking down the Pharmacy, but not going to quite work out. Once they go going Burwick on the high ground, Guguza on that mech. And the looking defense is going to stabilize here as Ox is taking some nasty direct shots here on the bar right now. Roar is there on the pumpback center, comes back on the Tracer and gets 2 kills, clears up the fights. And now with 1 minute remaining, what ults do you have to speak of except for maybe a Blizzard here? This defense could hold, because look at the Nana Barrage coming up.
Yeah, they really only have time for one more clean fight here, and with not a lot of ultimates to use in this clean fight, it's all going to come down to whether or not they're able to get onto point, and whether or not they're going to be able to shut down the Pharah. You can see the switch comes through from Caber onto Cass, just waiting on the Blizzard, seeing if they can get anything from that, but it's going to be the Barrage. No, Barrage gets shut down. Caber with the amazing play right there, doing whatever they can. Blizzard comes out to take some place. Flambeau gets etc. Rusty gets Page. These are the picks they need as they start pushing in.
Yeah, they're gonna start pushing in here. 2 ults used and no ults really advantage game. They do find Roar, but Flambeau Jambo gets the slam down on a Purple Zero. Takes Yana out of the fight. But, I mean, at least if you're the Catch, you're thinking we still have a 1 tick advantage here, but we cannot stagger. We gotta reset quickly here. It's 1 more fight. And they only have 2 ults worth, but it could be huge once Jagumba has come in clutch with his bound to 4.
That's gonna all come down to amplification matrix from Brittle Dog and the bomb from Rusty Goomba. All that there is to counter that is the Velk from Page, and at the end of the day, Velk isn't gonna be the saving thing. As the bomb goes in, it actually finds Page, the one player with the ultimate on the Cats, goes down, and this is the initiation from them. Bomb's gonna come out from Transflect, gets absolutely blocked by Flambeau Jambo there, and this is going to be Flambeau's chance right here, pushing in. Strudel finds the pick onto Hyperpla. They need to get one tick. They only have 10 seconds left.
1 second, 10 seconds, but all they need. Counter 27 finds 2 kills, and the beat is there. Cat has the minefield. Bombland's been nearly enough there as Cat finally goes down there to get 3 kills. So it's not done just as of yet, because Ox is there on the point with the wall and the but the flash ban as Counter 27 is sitting in the corner, but the defense sponsor coming in here. It's not over just as of yet. Treshman's going very weak as Ox is there still on the point with the May. Could potentially go the Blizzard. They lose the kill, they lose the May, and they're going to lose the Demon here soon as Roar has that tactical visor. Gets the kill. How is Roar still alive? Roar has little HP remaining, but gets the kill. Finds 2, finds 3. Roar
No way.
comes up huge.
No way.
Yes,
no
way. We're going
way.
to map 5.
That was absolutely insane. Riddle Dog, Caber, Roar showing up, sticking in the corner, saying, "You stay close to me. I'll keep our team alive. I'll make this stall." That's got to be the play of the game right there. I don't know what else would be. They showed up and they showed out. It's gonna go to map 5.
Look at how low he gets this play. He's 6 HP. But Real Dog just chucking down the healing on the ground is good enough to keep that tactical visor up. That was a huge clutch play from Real Dog. I'm gonna say clutch play from Real Dog because of the healing there under Roar. Keep that tactical visor going.
Just how I like.
So huge play from the Baptiste for the OTs, and again we're going to map 5. So you're not gonna want to miss it, everybody. We're going to a quick map break, but it's going to be control for our map 5. Where will the Cats take us in this first week of Gopherwatch League Season 5.5? You're not gonna go on anywhere. All right, here we go. Going into map 5 here is going to be control center picked by the Cats, or not control center, it's going to be the control map, and it is going to be Ilios as we head in here to our final map of this series, and what's been a pretty exciting one for the first map, or the first game of the first game of the series for both these teams.
All right, here's what I'm confused about. You gotta answer me this, BOON1E. Why go Ilios when they have Lumpy Seal and they have Riddle Dog? Like, what's the strategy here? Well, Lumpy Seal is on DPS, I guess, so they're not going hog. But at the same time, like,
you're praying for ruins, and Widow and etc. can play Widowmaker.
Yes, fair point.
You are hoping and praying.
First map as well, as we can see here.
I mean, that's correct, but we
yes,
don't
it
see
allows for the pharmacy.
We don't see the hog coming out from Rusty yet.
One.
So you haven't completely thrown the game, and the Catech Ball can still get some boops as well. So not a terrible selection, and you know they don't really have any hard hits game players, so the pharmacy can get a lot of value, especially on points like well here. We are going here. The cage control is claimed early here for the OTs, and looking to shoot in is Ox getting that spam damage, but Lumpy Steel tracking as far down. Oh, does not matter. Lumpy Steel's gonna fall in the back, but Roar can trade up for a center, so one DPS for another. As both teams still fighting for his point control, but cages are currently under the demand of the OTs. But the ball is trying to come in here to disrupt a little bit, as well as the wrecking, as well as the power of Transifying very weak here. But the point is just cast for the OTs for free, by Flambeau just standing on it and taking 0 damage. And this is a very interesting position taken here by the Cats as they start to move forward towards the point. But they're sitting in cages right now. They're plenty fine not leaving the spot, because that means Xterra has no shotguns on their team. And he's not going to get any value here as Castle is low yet again taken out. So the ball going down. Another trade comes through 1-for-1. But Rusty's fine to find Page. And the bomb is in here from Roar. Not going to get anything but Transflect. But finally the party's taken down. It looks like the Cats are getting sent back to spawn. And the OTs continue to take up on the point.
Yeah, OT's continuing to have control on this point. And this is kind of what I expected if it's a well. But I could kind of expect the complete opposite thing. As Rusty gets taken out there somehow, I'm really not sure.
Rusty lost the mech, so resetting.
Oh, lost the mech, so resetting. It's a very, very smart call. But looks like ETC is going to reset onto a different character here, switching to the cast. And it's going to open up a sort of a new fight. They're just going to try to put some pressure onto the Flambeau shield that has been holding them up in cages for so long. A few ultimates coming into play for the Cats, so we'll have to see how they decide to use them here.
Yeah, here come the ultimates dealing after the cages could be pretty devastating here for a barrage. Doesn't need just a direct rocket into the Transflect with the bomb. Not gonna find anything, but here comes it from behind the back. Ox gonna find Strudel, and Ruz coming through as well. Ruz appears to be denied. No, it doesn't actually from Rusty. Can't get that out, and Rusty cuts off the point for just long enough for this to happen.
Put it on my tag.
71% and not counting here. Cats finally trying to catch up here. They get the flip, and they got the ult to work with.
Yeah, but the OTs on the recontest have both tank ults as well as the sound barrier and visor and pulse bomb basically almost built, so fairly big ult advantage for them. It's all on the fact of how they use it, how they utilize these ults, because it's not just one fight territory, it is still 2 fight territory, so it's going to come down to how ultimates are used. Minefield goes in, and the bio onto Flambeau. Flambeau now caught out, now kind of stuck in the middle position, and sort of has to wait for his team to regroup, and that's going to be slowing them down huge here.
The Pulse Bomb finds nothing except Roar's demise there. The shatter comes down on a cap only, but they trade 1 demon for 1. And look at all the ults burn here already for the side of the OTs, and they got good enough to look for, but they're finally getting the kills, finally getting the picks coming through after all those ults are being infested. Fast rolling into the well there for, I guess, a quick reset. Ox is still on the point with Page. He's trying to stay alive as long as possible, but finally shut down, and now sitting at 5%, but they had to use everything except the beat there.
Yeah, saving onto the sound barrier, just playing it a little bit safe. I like that just because it gives you a denial to some of the more dangerous ults coming up. Raj almost built, as well as the Deadeye for ETC, and ETC is not the type of person you want to have the Deadeye. You look to see if they try to use it here. Deadeye is active. Just gonna try to deny some space, sort of find some control, but looks like the control is gonna go to Flambeau. Takes down ETC. Lumpy Seal with the follow-up. Catholic training back onto Strudel, maybe going for Riddle, but no, getting shut down by the boobs, pooping them back, pooping them off the point. Riddle shuts down Cath, and now it's going to be somewhat of an advantage for the Arizona OTs as they take the first round.
Yeah, Ox just sadly just a little too high off the point there. Can't get the contest going to keep it going here in overtime, but looking pretty heavily in the OT's favor there. The Cats, that was a... I guess that's the one point you don't feel confident on for the Cats, because, you know, Ball and Widow and long range cans kind of work it everywhere else. Just Well was very good there for the OTs, so kind of a look at the draw there for them. Able to play with that broad composition and take control of cages. But now we're on Ruins. This is where you want to go if you are the Cats, because Nakam, etc. Play those long range hit scan characters that Widowmaker or perhaps the legs the situation, and really take advantage of those sight lines. But we have Roar on the Genji looking to shut that down with the dive, because Rusty is probably going to be around Lumpy Seal and Strudel trying to keep them alive. So it's going to be Roar here to stop down this DPS.
It's the difference of composition at the end of the day. It's the storyline that's being told. We have the Brawl versus the dive. We have the Cathec versus the Flambeau. We have so much pressure on all of these players to perform in this situation. It's all going to come down to what happens here. Last map was a little bit more well-sided for the composition of the OTs, so now it's time for the Cats to basically show up or get taken out, and it seems like ATC is going to get taken out by Strudel there, and that's not how you want to start the fight.
No, that's not what you want to start off at all, because it's a huge trick from Strudel on the support mode, but Aka knocked Rusty off the map. War will clean up pushing in the back, and with Transplant having an interesting res, but Kate gets it off. Somehow they stay alive for all that. And they're trying to push back in with etc. back on the point here. Strudel playing very weak. Now Flambeau just trying to be a presence on the point, trying to hold it for the OGs right now. I mean, Transplant goes in for a squish, doesn't quite get one, but lose the mech almost instantly because the winner from Strudel is well placed. Allows the DPS to go through. Lucky still gets that flashbang kill on a Transplant. The trades are coming through here, but you got to see that's in control right now. Here comes the barrage of Ox, but that couldn't get anything except for Rusty's back maybe. And now the trades are coming through here in favor of the Campo Flambeau Jimbo, just walking forward aggressively, menacingly. And enemy team of Flambeau Jimbo walks into the minefield, perhaps not knowing they were there. And just finally goes down, but here comes the stall from Real Dog on the point. As much percent as they possibly can, and about 50% and counting going up here as they finally get a flip over for the Chicago Cats.
And this is what the Chicago Cats need. Now they're going to be able to insert some control, and they're able to get a lot of poke damage in here, build up a lot of ultimates. They only have one at the moment compared to the 3, basically almost 5 for the Arizona OTs as they look to push in. So it's all going to be on stopping the fight here. Yeah, you can see ETC already built up an ultimate. Translate going to have theirs as well. Page almost very, very close to Valkyr, and Oaks just finding a first pick on a Lumpy Seal. That's exactly what they needed to sort of stop the brawl. If you kink one piece of the Ryan's armor, one of the backline members, it's going to make them fall so far back, and they're just going to reset the Lumpy Seal here.
Yeah, and now Ox in a great position to stop this. And here comes the bomb slam combo. They're going to get Flambeau Jumbo and Rusty out of it. So a good stagger fight there. Is now Etc. trying to 1v1 Roar, but Ox comes in with a dishonorable direct hit on the Genji with the 1v1 going on. Much shame on you, sir. But this is a huge stagger fight now, as now the Cats are in advantage here for the control progress. 52% and going upward.
Cats are at the advantage for control, but when it comes down to ultimates, I actually don't even know if I want to say that they have the advantage, because it feels like everybody in this map but Transflect has their ultimate in this situation. Catholic a little bit off, but the entire Arizona OTs line up with their entire ultimates going out both ways. Lumpy Seal the only one to get a pick off that, and it's just going everywhere. Qs are being pressed.
A lot of Qs being pressed, but only the kill feed laying up blue here for the OTs. As they get some huge picks here. Oh, Flambeau Jambo sits down and Transflect with that shatter. Takes them out, but they used all 6 ults there. But, I mean, at the same time, we used 11 ults that fight. And the OTs come out on top because they had one more ult to work with, I guess. It's just math.
Come on, Transflex. Just use your ult better. Or build your ult faster. That's all I'm asking for. I mean, maybe asking for a little bit more, as they need to get this fight. This is going to be basically do or die for the Cats at this very moment, and you do not want to go down, as ETC puts down Roar, but the trade comes back both ways. Oaks luckily getting rezzed by Page there. Now it's going to be a 6-5 advantage for the Cats.
Give me a 6-5 adventure for the Cast. They're waiting for a startup, potentially get another picker on the Cassie. Not going to work out. Lumpy Seal just playing Twinkle Toes in the backline. Now Rusty Goomba has found the Widowmaker, put in some damage, put in some hurt. Ox concussion mines themselves in there, tries to get potentially some more damage here on the back of him. Here comes a hiding from Lumpy Seal. Oh, not gonna find anything. Ox plays the pillar perfectly there. Managed to stay alive. Rusty, though, is gonna find Excedra. Takes the Windmaker out of this fight, and Ox takes himself out here. Rusty Goomba putting in the work here on the D-Bot with the D-Matrix. This could be it. This could be the Cats being sent home with the OTs taking a map 5 victory, but not over just yet. Page is flying around trying to stay as possible. Long as possible can, but Real Dog gets a boop. That's how you get United right there. Put right back to spawn with that big boop. We do have the Excedra coming back here on the Tracer, trying to contest for long as possible, forced to recall right back off that point, but here comes some more staggers here for the OTs. Flambo slams down pushing. This frog is smooshed, and the OTs take the win. And sadly for Paige, the winless streak as Captain continues.
Sadly for Paige, sent back, sent home with their tail behind their back, if that's what I could say it for the Cats team. Great job though. This entire series, absolutely amazing. Everybody was showing up, everybody was on fire, and that went the full length. That went all 5 maps. That went basically all 2 hours. I don't even know. Hopefully we have time for MVP. Do we?
We'd be cutting it pretty close, but I guess we probably would have time for a few questions.
Speed run right now?
Yeah,
we doing it?
We could speed run it.
All right.
I guess I'll just let you pick. I don't know.
All right. MVP, in my opinion, I saw him every map popping off, and it's not the obvious pop-offs. It's the clutch pop-offs when you need them, in my opinion, and especially on the 4th map there, the Temple of Anubis, just keeping the team alive and on the point, even when it was a 6v3. Riddle Dog, the one and the only, just doing whatever it took to sort of keep their team in the game. Crucial player on Lucio, crucial player on BAP. Say whatever you want, give him any hero, he can do it. In my opinion, it should go to Riddle Dog.
I'd be inclined to agree. There would be too many other people I'd probably shout out as much as Real Dog there. Forced the C9, or kept it roar live through the Temple of Anubis play. The huge Hanzo plays on Nambani. I think Real Dog has definitely earned the player of the match here for the OTs versus the Cats. I think Riddle has permission to join staff chat, so he can just join right in.
Hopefully he joins up in a second.
Hello.
Welcome, Riddle Dog!
There it is. Congratulations on the player of the match. Congratulations on the victory of Chicago Cats 3-2. How's it feeling?
It's crazy. Elliot and just Sully, they're just crazy at the DPS. They just would not leave us alone. That our team had so many comms. It was just so close. We're all really worried, but it's nice that it's all done and dusted.
And I think the comms were very important, integral in keeping your team up, just like you were in the support line with Strudel, just being absolutely there whenever you needed them. And what was sort of going through your head when the Cats took the 2-1 lead initially? What were you guys planning on, like, switching up going into the map that you thought was going to be KR, but then it got switched to Temple of Anubis?
Well, initially the plan before Kaber joined was I was going to be on the DPS, and I gotta be honest, I wasn't doing a whole lot. I had a couple times on the Hanzo where I was able to do stuff, but it wasn't a lot. I was just getting diffed the whole time. But thanks to MJ, Kaber, he came in and he was able to play the Doomfist and the Cassidy, and I was able to play BEP, which is really nice.
Yeah, very, very great performance overall. I guess we typically don't get to... Oh yeah, El Clasico, yes. We typically don't get to like see support MVP. I love picking support MVPs. I may be a little bit biased, but I love picking support MVP. So how did you feel like your role fit into the entire team? And when you guys started running in these brawl comps where it's really, really integral that you're sticking with the team and you're keeping your teammates up?
Yeah, a lot of it is just, I just gotta, well, between me and Strudel, we are both super flexible. He's better at the Ana than I am. I know that. But we just sort of flex around. I want to say first Lijiang, I was on Lucio. And then like Anubis, I was on Baptiste while he was on Lucio. So it's just nice to flex around like that. and just trying to make sure everyone stays up with the crazy damage coming out. I have to play for my life. They would not leave me alone. On Anubis, I was just dying so many times, and Elliot had so many good sightlines on me, I just couldn't do much until the very end, I think.
All right, I guess I'll ask El Clasico before we send ourselves out here. If you couldn't get MVP, who would it be?
I gotta say Rory. Roar for having the huge comms. Just him and Riley and Flambeau all calming. It's crazy. It's the most comms I've ever had. And Rory able to deal with Sully and Elliot like that. It's really something. But I'd have to give it to Rory, I think.
I think a good shout there. So again, thank you very much, Real Dog, for coming in for the MVP interview. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for us here at the Gopherwatch League tonight. I've been your playboy caster, BOON1E. Joining me today has been Roar in this exciting 5-map series, going 3-2 in favor of the OTs. If you are interested, you can go check out Fedora or twitch.tv/Fedora Anonymous for the conclusion of the Dorado Ducks and the Fiji Frogs game. That's going to map 5 right now, currently on Nepal. 1-0 in favor of the Fiji Frogs, so you're not going to want to miss that one. Make sure you go check that out. But that's going to be it for us here tonight. So, for War, I'm BOON1E signing off. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great rest of your evening. Goodbye, everybody.